What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video I am going to be talking about Manchester United's last game that we went and played Wolves in the FA Cup in round 3. So let's just get straight into today's video. All I'm going to say is welcome to the FA Cup series, and hopefully Manchester United can get to Wembley, and hopefully yet again it's another battle for a trophy, for silverware. Can Ole Gunnar Solskjaer win the FA Cup with this squad? We'll have to find out and see. Anyway, guys, talking about the starting 11 now. We started with Romero, Young, Lindelof, Maguire, Williams, Pereira, Matic, Chong, Mata, James and Greenwood. Overall reaction, Romero was fantastic for me. Replay it is, not the best, not the worst performance. Both teams didn't want to lose. Just needed one opportunity. It's a clean sheet though. Can United beat Wolves back at Old Trafford? We'll have to see about that. But yeah, anyway, guys, let's just get straight to today's video, guys. What did I make of the performance? This game, it was just pretty much a both-sided game. You know, we were seeing Wolves getting on the attack, United getting on the attack. It was two teams that just did not want to lose. It was two teams that were both coming off a loss. We came off a loss against Arsenal. They came off a loss against Watford. So we both lost to two London teams. So both teams just didn't want to lose this game. I think for United, we just needed one opportunity to put away. I thought we put in some really good crosses into the box, and no one was there to finish it off. No end product whatsoever. It was just one of these games where it was just not the best, not the worst performance from the players. Thought it was in the middle, it was okay. Both teams didn't want to lose. Both teams were just coming back of a loss. We just needed one opportunity in the whole game, really, and the whole thing would have been finished. It's a shame because just both teams didn't want to lose, and it was just one of these games where, you know, whenever they were on the attack, we defended really well, and whenever we were on the attack, they just defended really well. Both teams just couldn't find the breakthrough. It was just a bit gutting and not to see any goals happening. Anyone can criticise this game and say it was boring as fuck. I don't mind that because it was boring as fuck. When I was watching it, it was boring as fuck anyway. It was a boring game, but just both teams didn't want to lose. Both teams were coming off of a loss. And we've got a replay now. Probably not what we wanted. United could have won this game by a penalty as well. It was just one of these performances where it was just in the middle. Not the best, not the worst performance. I think the first half we tried to make something happen, but I think we just had so many chances and just not one of them went on target. Didn't even have one shot on target in the whole game. It's the first time in like 4 years we've not had a shot on target in the FA Cup. It's pretty poor, to be fair. I felt like Williams should have got a penalty. It was definitely a penalty. I don't know how VAR didn't allow it. We had an idiot of a referee as well, so that didn't really help. I think we could have easily won the game if we got that penalty, but we didn't. Got on the attack multiple times. We put some good crosses in, and just no one was there just to finish it off, and just no one was there just to have the end products, and just nothing was there from the players. I think you can tell by the starting 11, you know, it was obviously a young team by playing Chong, James, Greenwood up top, with Mata playing in the midfield with Pereira and Matic, sorry. It was a young team. We did struggle in this game. It was just one of these games where it was just a both-sided game, really. They were on the attack, we were on the attack. Both teams defended really well. Both teams couldn't find a breakthrough. That's what happens in football, to be fair. But we've got to take it, we've got to move on, we've got to take the replay, and we're back at Old Trafford now. That was Wolves' opportunity to beat us, but there you go. They didn't beat us anyway, so we've got half a chance of still going through anyway. Second half, it's just one of these where you just can't really judge it. Again, we got on the attack, we tried to make things happen. Just not much happened on the counter-attack. Chong made some brilliant runs in behind, Dan James especially. Dan James putting some great crosses into the box. Did really panics their defence. You know, we just needed one opportunity for a player just to bury a chance away, but it's just clear in the stats that, you know, we weren't good enough. It's just one of these games, and it's one of the just both teams didn't want to lose. It was just a both-sided game. You can't really call if it was a game of two halves, because it really wasn't. I think that in the second half, I think Wolves probably had a better second half than us. They had a few chances at goal, chances they just didn't take, but they did score a goal, but it got disallowed anyway because the referee straight away knew that it was a handball, so they were never going to get away with that anyway. There was a couple of times when they got close. I think you've got to applaud Romero, because if he didn't have to pull off those saves, we would not be in this position right now. We would be already out of the FA Cup. I think you've got to give a lot of phrase to Romero of keeping us in the tie. We've got to make sure that we're still in this tie, and we've got to make sure now, well, when we go back home to them, we've got to finish them off. If we don't finish these off, I'm going to be fuming. I'm just going to be fuming that, we hardly don't get anywhere in this FA Cup, because the Carabao Cup's already finished for us. So we need something out of this FA Cup. It was just one of these performances where both teams didn't want to lose. It was neck on neck. There was a few panicky moments in the second half. We defended really well. I felt like the centre-backs played really well, Lindelof and Maguire. Maybe should have rested Maguire, but these things happen now. He's injured now. He's ripped his hip muscle now, so he's going to be out for quite a long time. So overall, not the best, not the worst performance. Both teams just didn't want to lose. A draw was fair. A replay is back at Old Trafford now. It's good to get the clean sheet. We're just going to move on now, onto the next game, really. What were we lacking? I think we just lacked in motivation, really. I think because we played such a young team, we just lacked motivation, just lacked something to get these players going. If Ollie had a good team talk and would have kicked their arses together, we probably would have had a chance of winning this game, but because he didn't do that, I think we just lacked motivation. Also as well, we put in so many great hard and low crosses in that got into the box, and just no one was there to finish it off, and just there was literally no end product. So I feel like we lacked in the end product as well, because we put in some really great crosses into the box and just not one player decided to react to put a chance away. So I feel like, we really lacked in the end product, really lacked the final third. It's one of these really, but because we played such a young team as well, it was hard to get something out of these players as well. I think that's a lesson now for Ollie, to go with a much more experienced lineup now against Wolves, because I think at the end of the day, Wolves have got nothing to lose and we've got nothing to lose. One of the teams are progressing and the other one's going out, so we have to make sure if we want to beat Wolves and knock these out, we have to do it during the game. If we go into extra time and penalties, God willing, God knows what's going to happen. And I think it's important for us now to put in an experienced lineup and go for it, because we've got nothing to lose, to be fair, at the end of the day. Can United beat Wolves back at Old Trafford? Of course we can. I think it's all about, we need to put out an experienced lineup. I think we've got nothing to lose. Both us and Wolves have got nothing to lose. I think whoever wants it more, who's taking it more seriously, who wants to win the FA Cup and who wants to do well in this FA Cup, is going to win this. We have to make sure, if we want this, we've got to be chasing the game down. We've got to give it to them. We've got to work our absolute socks off if we want to win this game. We've got to do absolutely everything. Make sure that they do a mistake, just go and capitalise on it. This game could go either way. We've drawn that first one 0-0. I think it's all about now, if we get the first goal, try and defend it, and let's just see what happens. You never know, but sometimes we can hold off teams with a 1-goal lead. It doesn't always happen. Of course we can beat Wolves at Old Trafford. It's home advantage. The fans are going to be behind the players, so that's important as well. I think if we don't have a quick start, we're in for a long night. But like I said, one team's progressing, one team's going out, and if we want to progress, we need to win this, and we need to try and knock out the best teams that we can do. We've just got to prove who we are. We've got to work our absolute socks off to win this game. It's possible. It's there for the taking. We can beat Wolves back at Old Trafford. The fans are going to be behind us. It's important for those fans to get behind the team and to cheer on our players, motivate these players. Go for it. Got nothing to lose. Who is my man of the match? Without a doubt, it's got to be Romero. I think if it wasn't for Romero with those great saves, we wouldn't be still in this tie right now. We would not be still in this FA Cup. Wolves would have already gone through. They would have been either playing Tranmere or Watford. We would have already been crashed out of this FA Cup if it wasn't for Romero. Romero was absolutely fantastic. He deserves the praise from me, and he absolutely did wonders. I think it wasn't for Romero in this game, we would not be in this position right now. My man of the match has to be Romero, because he was absolutely fantastic. How do we beat Wolves in the replay? I think we've got to make sure we've got to come out. We need a bright, quick start. We need to get on the front foot. We need to play with lots of energy. We need the fluidity and the urgency in the team. The transition from defence to attack needs to be quick. Don't sit back. Because in this out of the back thing, most teams sit back. Well, not most teams, but with us especially, we sit back and then we wait for them to make a mistake, which Wolves don't really make too many mistakes. and then go and hit them on the break. It's not always going to work. It's not always going to happen. So I think it's important that we've got to take our chances, create chances, score on your chances, get the end product there. We need the creativity. Ollie needs to pick the right team. He needs to put the right players in the right positions. Ollie knows we've only got this tie and that's it. If we do not win this and beat Wolves, I'm devastated. I'm gutted. We've got to beat Wolves. It's important to have a quick start. If we don't have a quick start, we're in for a long night of football, because this could go easily to extra time and penalties. I do not want to be staying up any longer than 2 hours of this game. If we want to beat Wolves, we've got to do it in the 90 minutes. If this is 0-0 till like 90 minutes and they score in extra time, it's finished. It's absolutely finished. That's why we need to make sure we've got to have a quick start, bright start. Got to take your chances, score on your chances, and if we don't, we're out. Like I said, I think whoever has the better running now and whoever hits the right form, I think if both teams win on the weekend, both teams will be going for it. Like I said, whoever's taking this seriously, whoever wants it more, if the players turn up, and whoever wants to do well in this FA Cup will be progressing, and the other team will go out of this FA Cup. It's down to this, and if we don't put it right against them lot, it's finished for Man United. There'll be no silverware this year again. Getting into the stats now, possession-wise, for Wolves, they had 49%. Man United had 51%. Goals for Wolves, none. And for United, none. Total shots, 12 for Wolves and 12 for United. Total shots for Wolves, it was 2. And shots on target for United, it was 0, obviously. Total passes for Wolves, it was 428 passes. And for Man United, it was 443 passes. Pass accuracy for Wolves, it was 79%, and for Man United, it was 85%. Getting into the substitutions now, Mata went off the thread, talk about Mata's performance. Tidy on the ball, but ineffectual, partially due to his callow attacking teammates. Came close with a free kick, unfortunate to go off. James went off for Rashford, talk about Dan's performance. Has not scored in over 4 months, and it is not a surprise. Dan's shooting was wayward again, but his pace frightened Wolves. Chong went off for Dalot, talk about Chong's performance. Gave it back to Young and was urgent on the ball, more direct in the second half, viciously hacked down by 2 Wolves players. Onwards and upwards, we've obviously got Wolves in the replay. Obviously Wolves, we all know Wolves, you know, the great team, got great players, got a lot of quality going forward. Like I said, whoever's going to want this more, whoever turns up, whoever's taking the FA Cup more seriously, and whoever wants to do well in the FA Cup is going to progress through it, is going to have a good run into Wembley. And whoever's taking it more seriously is going to win this game. I think Wolves, you know, great players all round, got a lot of quality in there, very compact. Don't make too many mistakes. They stay together. They're organised. They keep the shape. They do everything well under Nuno Santos. So I think it's for us, we just got to make sure we kind of come out quick, have a bright and quick start. The movement needs to be quicker. We cannot be sloppy on the ball. We cannot be giving possession away. If we give possession away, it's like Wolves will go and capitalise. We've got to make sure we can't really make that happen for them. Got to make sure that we've got urgency, fluidity. Transition from defence to attack needs to be quick. We've got to be quick. If we want to be playing this out of the back thing, we've got to make sure we put in some good hard and low crosses in, and just make sure we can try and take one opportunity. Whoever is chasing down the game more, whoever wants it more, whoever turns up is going to win this game and will progress into round 4. We've got to make sure we create chances, scoring our chances, got to get on the front foot, got to play aggressive, and we've got to take it to them, because if we don't take it to them, it's going to be tough. We might end up going into extra time. It's going to be tough. I know we've got quite a tight schedule, but that's football for you. You literally playing one game and then in the next few days you're playing again. For these players, it's all about the recovery work. We've got to make sure we recover from the weekend, prepare well for this game mentally, physically, go in with the right mindset, right mentality. We've got to go out there and give it absolutely everything. We've got to make sure we turn up, and we've got to make sure we take the game to them, because Wolves, they'll come in with a game plan, they'll come in with the tactics, and they'll be aiming to beat us. We'll be aiming to beat them with home advantage. The fans are behind the players. I think the players need all of the motivation that they need. I think from minute 1 to minute 90, we've got to be absolutely on it. We've got to be on our A game. I think when they're on the attack, get men behind the ball, be organised, stay in shape. One slip up, one mistake, they'll capitalise, they'll pay the price. So we've got to make sure we're mentally on it from minute 1 to minute 90. Prepare well for this game. Wolves, don't make too many mistakes, but if we see a mistake on it, capitalise on it, try and score on it. Got to take your chances, because if we don't take our chances against these lot, we're in for a long night of football. If it's still 0-0 after 90 minutes, we're going to be going to extra time and penalties. Wolves had the opportunity to beat us at the Molineux. They didn't. This is our opportunity now to beat Wolves at Old Trafford. If we do not beat them at Old Trafford, I'm going to be gutted, because there's going to be literally no silverware for us this year. And if we want an opportunity of silverware, it's the FA Cup. We know the Carabao Cup's finished. Romero was fantastic. He's kept us in the tie. We've got to do what we need to do. We've got to come in with the right game plan, the right tactics to go and beat Wolves. Wolves, we've got to make sure we got to get past them. Yes, we may have crashed out in round 5 and they may have beat us. They're coming to us this time. So we just got to take the game to them. We've got to match them. We've got to take the game to them. Just go for it. We've got nothing to lose. Wolves have got nothing to lose. And I think whoever's going to turn up, take it more seriously, whoever wants to do well in this FA Cup, whoever wants the silverware is going to progress. Whoever just doesn't turn up and has an off day is going out of this FA Cup. We've got to be mentally switched on at all times. Got to be on our A game. It's important for our players to stay switched on at all times. When they're on the attack, must defend properly. Stay in shape. Keep men behind the ball. Be organised when they're on the attack. We've got to make sure we create chances and scoring our chances. We've got to have a bright and quick start. We've got to play much better football. And if we want to stay in this cup, we've got to put on a better performance. May the best team win. Ollie needs to pick the right team, put the players in the right positions. He needs to balance the team out right. The structure in the team needs to be right. We need depth in the team, and he needs to select the right formation for the game. The players to look out for is Neves, Jordao, Montinho, Dendonka, Jimenez, Jota, Traore and Neto. Hope you guys have enjoyed another video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new. See you guys in a video in the next couple of days, and peace.